Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, I'm sure if you are a Muslim and you are also up in the right wing algorithm on X, you've come across different people mocking these sisters working out. And I believe this was not in America or the West, it was in Somalia or Ethiopia, somewhere like that. I believe Dili Hussein found out where it was, but the amount of trolling that these right-winger Christians are doing to these women for not being half naked while working out is quite absurd. But it does also point out how difficult it is for Muslim women to simply go to the gym and work out while trying to obey the Sharia. And to me, when I see this video, I really just think to myself how there needs to be more all-female gyms that ban filming, and where there's you have to have a female security guard because it's the women's section, but to observe people making sure they're not filming at all so that women can actually breathe better when they are working out. But it also should inspire some women to have some type of gym stuff at home if they can afford it. But also, it's easier and funner to get motivated to work out when you're in a group setting. Sometimes, I mean, working out at home can be quite boring, but when you go to the gym, it's like you go into the zone, and it just seems easier, and you get motivated when you see others doing it, so there's that. But I want you to remember back in the day when people like Joey Swole and other people were saying we need to ban filming in the gyms, and we also have to stop these women from doing their, like, oh, there's a creep looking at me while I'm working out. I did a video on that, like, over 2 years ago, where there was just these women who would wear basically nothing. The most skin-tight clothes you can imagine, basically working out in their undies. And they would set up their camera, their tripod, and all that, and then a guy would look at them for 3 seconds, and then they would freak out, and men were getting shamed online. So, the funny thing is about people like Elijah Schaffer, who is anti-Islam, anti-Muslim, but he also complains about whoredom, is that they're just constantly unsatisfied with how women dress. And they're not consistent. So, oh, okay, she wears too much stuff hanging out. Oh, now I can't goon at her. She covers up. Oh, how dare they do that? You know, they should be dressing less so that I can stare at them and get some eye candy and do some type of visual cheating on their wife. And if you think about what the Bible said, isn't it Jesus, that verse that says, if a man even looks at a if a man even looks at a woman with lust, he's committed adultery. I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. But we have lowering your gaze in Islam, but Christians as well are not supposed to just go to the gym and look at booties all day. I know it's hard not to do that because of how skanky, Western women dress in gyms, but here they are making fun of these women who are just trying, I feel for them. And it's not easy to be a Muslim woman who wants to work out, and men want to have a woman have a nice body, and sometimes you need to work out to get that perfect body to really burn those calories, and jumping up and down in your living room in your tiny apartment is not exactly the same as having access to gym equipment, and the psychological boost in a gym setting is much more potent, and men can testify to that as well because they get to go to the gym, and if they had to only work out in their living room, they wouldn't have as many gains, and it would be quite difficult to sustain that, and it'd be more boring too. There's just something about your home is more cozy, whereas the gym is like, hey, it's go time. And a lot of people who have a house, they can convert their garage, or they have a shed in the backyard they can build, or something like that. But people who have apartments, it's really hard. So this is an all-female gym. They're minding their own business, and the right-wingers, like Elijah Schaffer, who's the Christian, is making fun of modest women working out, and I just find it to be distasteful. Let these women work out, and they don't have to thirst trap for you. And if you're a Christian, why are you complaining that these women ain't dressed like skanks, right? So, again, these men will be like, I'm married, and I have Christian values, and then go to the gym and just stare at chicks working out, and then their wives dress almost the exact same as those liberal women. So, hedonism is very potent in so many right-wing Christians, and they don't even see the deep, disgusting nature of that. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless these sisters and to allow them to reach their fitness goals. Ameen. And this was the profile I was talking about, where he really takes digs at women, justified digs that is, at those who dress nearly nude, and then they complain when men look at them. So he calls them out, and he does some really good gym activism.